Denver is known for its outdoor activities and recreational activities, as well as breweries and the sunny weather. However, if you're thinking of moving here, I want to break down the 10 pros and cons of living in Denver, Colorado. Now, I know it might seem crazy that I would tell you all of the things that I think are bad about Denver. However, it's important for you to know before you make a move here. I've been living in Denver, Colorado personally for 3 years. However, we have a team of 4 agents. Collectively, we've lived here for over 15 years and we've helped a ton of people move here and we absolutely love it here. So if you're thinking about making the move, don't hesitate to reach out to one of our team members. All of our information is going to be down in the description as well as popping up on here on screen. So let's jump right into the pros and cons of living in Denver, Colorado. The very first pro that I want to touch on is the days of sunshine here in Colorado. We have over 300 days of sunshine. That means you have unlimited number of opportunity really to get outside and enjoy the outdoors here in Colorado. And that is one of my favorite things actually about living here in the Denver metro area is how much sunshine we get. Now, con number 1 that I want to touch on, which used to be a pro actually in the past, was cost of living in Denver used to be really affordable and reasonable. However, with how housing prices have been, that's going to be con number 1. The cost of living in Denver has gone up and a lot of people are actually leaving as a result of it. We're actually seeing more people leave the state year over year than we are seeing people come into it, even though it is a super popular area for people to move to. I think eventually it's going to balance out here relatively quickly. However, that is one of the cons that I am starting to notice, especially with the people that I'm helping move here, is just the cost of living and the housing prices. Now, pro number 2 is going to be the growing and sustainable job market that we do have here in the Denver area. We have a ton of companies that are in the defense industry as well as the tech industry that are moving to the Denver metro area and some of these surrounding cities. So you have an enormous amount of job opportunity here. Especially if you are a remote worker. It's actually super attractive for remote work as well. So we have an amazing flourishing job and economy here in the Denver metro area. Con number 2 is going to be the traffic. We have absolute nightmare traffic. We have over 17 million visitors a year that come to the Sunshine State of Colorado. I don't know if that's it. I'm just gonna stick with it because I love how sunny it is here. Anyway, that bodes for something that is very challenging here in the Denver area is just the amount of people that we have, and the infrastructure is really not there to support sometimes the amount of traffic that we do have. 270 can be really bad. It's a cut across between I-70 and I-25 that always can get backed up. 470 though is a great kind of bypass to take you around the metro area. The E470 tollway is what that one's called. And then 36, the Boulder Turnpike, can get backed up when you're driving into Boulder in the mornings or leaving Boulder in the afternoons. So there's a lot of few choke points around, and then 25 right around Empower Field at Mile High Stadium seems to always have traffic, and it's always a little bit slower there. So be aware of the traffic that we do have here in the Denver metro area. The third pro that I want to touch on now is actually access to travel. With Denver International Airport being so far removed away from the city and just how large that airport is, we have a great hub for a lot of different airlines, and for us to be able to, jet out to different locations all over the United States and all over the world. So the access to travel is way up there on my list in terms of pros, and the airport itself, yeah, it might be big, it might be daunting. However, I really think that the layout of it is really good. TSA really doesn't ever take too long, especially if you have pre-check or clear. Those are great options if you are a frequent traveler. Con number 3 that I want to touch on is actually the fact that the city is landlocked and there's not really access to a super large body of water. I've noticed this actually over the last 3 years that I have been living here is there isn't access to a ton of water sports, and if you do want to have access to it, you're going to have to be paying a fee in order to use a lot of these reservoirs and lakes that are around the Denver metro area. So if you're coming here for water sports and recreation around the lakes, I would definitely encourage you to rethink that particular reason and look into it a little bit more. Now, I just want to take a brief break here in between the video, and if you are thinking about making the move to the Denver metro area, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or anyone on our team. We're happy to help you. The Modern Agents is a great, phenomenal team that we have here. Between us collectively, we have over 8 years of real estate experience, and we'll be able to help you with your relocation needs when you're moving here to Denver. So look down in the description in order to book a call with us. We'd be happy to help you out. Number 4 for your pros is going to actually be the brewery and restaurant scene. And there's a lot of controversy around this. However, I think that Denver is a phenomenal scene for having access to honestly really good food and really great beer. All over the area. I mean, you have tons and tons of breweries from Fort Collins all the way down to Colorado Springs, which people sometimes consider that being a piece of the Denver metro. However, those drives are not that far to get to some of arguably the best breweries in the country that are distributing all over. And the food scene, especially in the Highlands in Denver and down in Wash Park, are great. So those are some of my favorite things about the city, especially in this 4th pro. Now, the 4th con that I want to touch on is it is really, really hard to get around in the Denver metro area without a car. And the reason I say that is because the RTD system is, very well set up. I mean, we do have trains and buses and other vehicles within that system. However, unless you're living right on one of those RTD lines or close to one of those bus stops, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get around the city itself. And having a car is kind of a must, and that's why I would say it's definitely a con, because if you don't have a car, you're not going to be able to experience all that Colorado and the Denver area has to offer. Now, the final pro that I want to touch on, which is kind of all encompassing, is there is no shortage of activities to do, whether that be concerts or going to sporting events or other seasonal events that are going on all around the Denver metro area. There is no shortage of events, and that is a massive pro. Like literally every weekend, I can almost guarantee you there is something going on somewhere around the Denver area that is going to fit anyone's agenda that wants to go out and do something fun or exciting or something new. And that is my 5th pro. Now, the final con that I want to touch on is actually a really interesting one, because it's a pro for some people and it's a con for others. It's a one-track minded sports city. Denver loves its sports, loves its outdoor activities. So if you're not moving here for any of those outdoor activities or sporting events or things of that nature, you're gonna have a hard time kind of finding commonality between some of the folks that are living here, because I will say majority of people that are living in the Denver metro are outdoorsy. They love sports. They love to get out to the mountains. They love hiking. They love biking. They love all those things. So if that's not you, then maybe don't consider making a move here to Denver. However, there are tons of other options and things to do outside of that as well, which is very, very attractive to those moving to the Denver metro area. Now, if you are looking to buy or sell in the Denver area, don't hesitate to book a call with me or reach out to me with my information that's down in the description, as well as anyone on our team here at the Modern Agents. We want to be a resource for you guys, and we want to make sure that you're well taken care of if you're thinking of buying or selling in the Denver metro area. However, there is another video that I think that you're going to enjoy, and that's this one that's coming up right next.